Hey, afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Faircat Sports Show. Faircat Sports Show. Back with you guys for episode 25. A recap of the Bears versus Texans. And we're gonna talk about what we saw last night, what we liked, what we didn't like. Then we'll get to talking about the Colts game next week. What we
Mm-hmm.
think may or may not happen. So we got a whole lot of things, good, good, bad, indifferent to talk about. But how was your weekend otherwise?
It was the weekend, a lot of football, college and pros. So,
Yes.
you know, is what it is.
Yep. Michigan finally decided to start origin
Finally
mode.
benched Davis
Um,
Warren. Oh my goodness. Like I thought I was gonna lose my mind. I'm like, bro, how many more games is it gonna take this man to see that Davis Warren just isn't it? If
yeah,
Orgy isn't it, then go to Jack Tuttle or something. I don't know.
somebody,
But
somebody.
they couldn't keep going with Davis Warren. They just couldn't keep doing it.
Yeah, they
They
were
could.
they were doing a team a disservice by doing that. It's
Right,
like, bro, you got to.
and I'm glad Sharon Moore saw that. I'm like, you're not doing the team any good by just leaving Davis Warren out there, and he's clearly struggling. So
Yeah, none whatsoever, man. So I'm
this
glad
man
they.
has
they
4 picks to 0 touchdowns, or 1 touchdown, one of the two.
I think he got.
So
Yeah, he may
he
have
got
one.
one. He has
He got
one.
one.
So
Yeah,
he has 1 touchdown to 4 interceptions. You just or like 5 or 6 actually, because
yeah.
he's thrown multiple picks in
He threw three last
multiple.
game, right? Wasn't it
Right,
three?
yeah, he threw 3, and then I think he's had 2 in one game and 1 in the other. So yeah, he
Yeah.
has like 6 picks. Like you just had to,
Disgusting.
you had
Disgusting.
to.
Yeah,
So
he's not good, unfortunately, and it is what it is. Not good for him to fight through whatever he fought
right,
through
I
this spot.
he has a great story. Fighting cancer and then being a walk on and things like that. But it just you just couldn't continue with that kind of performance from your starting quarterback. So you had to make the switch. Which,
444
speaking of
yards.
switches, I know y'all
Yeah.
just saw the breaking news. The Carolina Panthers are
Yep.
benching number 1 overall pick Bryce Young. 36-year-old Bears legend Andy Dalton will start Sunday against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay, that's the first thing I thought of when I said that. All this shows me, and it'll tie into Caleb eventually, is these teams and these owners and everything else, they care about winning, right? They care about winning. So if your quarterback doesn't come in right away and light it up and put up these big numbers, they don't have time to wait on your development. They
Yep.
they want to come in winning football games, correct? They don't care how it gets done. They just want to win football games at
Yeah.
the end of
Yeah.
the day. And let's be honest though, Bryce Young wasn't looking good at all.
No, he wasn't.
Okay, he had three
He wasn't.
interceptions to 0 touchdowns with a 44.1 passer rating.
Hmm.
These first 2 games of the season, and you just see a guy out there. You just see this young kid out there who obviously his confidence is shot anyway. So I think some time on the bench would actually be good for him.
Hmm. Hmm.
To watch the game from Andy Dalton's perspective, who, by the way, like I said, he's 36. He's seen everything he's thrown at him, right? He's
Right.
86 and 73 as a starter, or something crazy that Tom Pelissero put out. So he's won a lot of games in this league. He knows what it takes to win games in this league. But like I was telling Irv, their defense is atrocious anyway. So changing quarterbacks wasn't going to change the fact that your defense is trash. Okay,
Right. They suck. They
like
are
your
trash.
defense sucks. You've been giving up like over 25 points a game. You're not gonna win games that way anyway. It don't matter who you have under center.
Yeah.
Okay. But I also think that this is good for Bryce Young. I think this is what Bryce Young needs. Um just watch the game from Andy Dalton's perspective. And you're not risking your body out there, okay? Like, you could probably learn a lot. And you get to ingratiate yourself in the system, right? You get to learn the playbook. You get to watch from a veteran perspective, right? See how
Hmm.
he wins, see how he carries himself, see how he prepares each week, right? And start enjoying the game again. I think a reset for Bryce is what he needs. I thought he should have sat his rookie year,
Mm,
right? I thought he should have sat his rookie year last year, and they had Andy Dalton run the show. But the Carolina Panthers are inept. So
right.
when you're an inept organization, it's you do dumb things, right?
Yep. Yep.
And I know people aren't, some people aren't a fan of these young guys coming in and sitting. Some are ready for the pros week one. I'm not saying they should be for every quarterback, but the majority of these young quarterbacks, there's so much is put on their shoulders too much too soon, and that's what ruins a lot of these quarterbacks, in my personal opinion. Some of them just aren't ready. Some of them need a year or two on the bench. That's not necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, th- everyone moves at their own pace. It's like us in learning, right? Some people learn at different paces than somebody else, right?
Right.
Some people are slow learners. Not that they won't be able to get it; they'll be able to get it, but it may take them more time to get it than say someone who's just really smart and they just can just get it day one, right?
Right.
So, I think that's how I view quarterbacks. It's like some of them are ready week one. You can throw them out there and they're gonna look fine. Some of them need maybe a year or two on the bench, a couple weeks. It just depends on the quarterback. But um, that's why I think getting hyped over a class isn't gonna do you any good. You look at the 2021 class, right? They had what, five, six quarterbacks go in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
They had Trevor Lawrence, who he got paid, but let's be honest, he hasn't lived up to the number one pick expectations. Let's be real about that. And I like Trevor Lawrence. That's my dude, but
Yeah.
that's the reality of the situation. He hasn't lived up to the expectations that people put on him. Number two
Mm-hmm.
was Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is the third string quarterback for the Denver Broncos.
Mm.
He got drafted by the New York Jets, inept organization, but
Mm-hmm.
they tried to start him probably when he didn't need to start. They threw him out there. He struggled a lot. They tried to bring in Aaron Rodgers and sit him for 2 years. Aaron Rodgers ends up popping his Achilles the first year.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach Wilson had to go out there unexpectedly. He just struggled again. So they just were like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll trade you to Denver. And he actually looks good in Denver because he has real coaching. And he doesn't have pressure to do anything or be anybody, right?
Correct.
Third
Right.
quarterback taken, Trey Lance. Trey Lance was the third string quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Trey Lance was very, 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 very raw.
Yep.
Didn't start many games in high school, didn't start many games in college, but got taken third overall because of potential, right? Potential. He needed more than a year on the bench. He probably should have sat 2 years, maybe
Mm-hmm.
three on the bench, right? and and then you would have went from there. But again, didn't work out in San Fran. He got traded to Dallas, and now he's there as the third string emergency quarterback.
Right.
Fourth quarterback taken. We all know this story. Justin Fields got taken by the Chicago Bears. Probably should have made him the backup quarterback his rookie year, even though Matt Nagy had good intentions, but you also carried three quarterbacks that year, so Nick Foles probably should have been your backup quarterback that year. Okay,
Absolutely. Yep.
actually Andy Dalton. While we're laughing, Andy Dalton was named the starting quarterback that year, but
He got hurt week two.
but he got hurt week two, so you had to throw in Justin Fields week two, and that probably wasn't the smartest thing the Bears should have done. And that's why I said I don't mind you. I didn't mind the Ghost for sitting him the whole year. The problem was you didn't make him the third string quarterback. You made him the backup. So that means if something happens to the starter, the backup's in the game. And he probably, real talk, he wasn't ready to be a starter his rookie year.
No,
So
not
then
yet.
you have this tumultuous 3 years in Chicago. He gets traded to Pittsburgh. They told him he was going to be the backup to Russell Wilson. And again, history repeating itself. Russ somehow tore a calf or something. I guess he's got a strained calf now. So who knows when he'll be back. Justin Fields is starting for Pittsburgh. He's 2-0, so I guess hey, he grew in that aspect. He's 6-2 in the last 8 starts he's had. So he's doing something right there, I guess. And then you look at Mac Jones, drafted by New England, and he
Good rookie
was
season.
another one. What?
Good rookie season. Good
Yeah,
rookie
good
season.
rookie season. Don't get me wrong. I still probably wouldn't have started him his rookie season, but they didn't have anybody else worth a note. I forget who his backup was that year. Might have been Brian Hoyer or Cam Newton. It was Cam Newton.
Yeah, Cam Newton.
Um, Cam Newton was his backup that year. I probably still would have started Cam, me personally. But to be fair, Mac Jones had a good rookie season.
Yeah,
And then it went downhill after that. After you made Matt Patricia, okay, that man was trash in Detroit. Matt Patricia, a defensive-minded guy, as your offensive coordinator, you was asking for failure. You were
hell yeah.
asking for failure. And Joe Judge, who got fired by the Giants, you were asking for failure. It didn't work out there. He gets traded to Jacksonville, and he's now the backup to Trevor Lawrence. Crazy how that worked out. So I
Yep.
guess what I'm saying is you just never know with these quarterbacks, right? And I think we're seeing we're seeing this with Caleb. As we know, the Bears lost last night, 16-10
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to the Houston Texans, right?
Correct.
And and Caleb Williams was 23 of 37 for 174 yards, zero touchdowns, and two interceptions. He
Mm-hmm.
got sacked
7
7 times.
times.
And you know, the
7.
first thing that popped in my head, it reminded me so much of that Cleveland game.
Yep.
Joseph Fields when he
He
got
had
sacked
36 pressures on
36 pressures.
46 dropbacks, I think it
My
was.
thing
43
is,
dropbacks.
and this isn't even about me thinking Caleb stinks. I would sit Caleb only because I care about his health. If this is the offensive line you're going to trot out every week, maybe you should play Bajan until you can get an offensive line that's going to protect Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last thing you want to do is keep trotting him out there. He keeps getting hit like that, and you shatter his confidence. That's the last
Yep.
thing you want to do if you're the Chicago Bears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or sign a vet out there on the street, I guess, right? But
Yep.
if that's the old line you're gonna have, I don't think you should be putting Caleb out there. Not because he can't play, not because I don't think he'll be good, but because I don't think that is good for his development or good for his career. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think
I
that's
agree.
good. And so if that is the offensive line we're gonna put out, then Caleb shouldn't be the guy that's out there.
I
It
agree.
just for the sake of his career and for the sake of the Chicago Bears, because this is your franchise quarterback. This is the guy you're investing 5 years in. You like the last thing you want to do is put him out there and make him take a bunch of unnecessary hits. You can't protect him. So until you can protect him, he doesn't need to be out there, in my
Right.
personal opinion.
Right. Right.
I thought the O line was horrendous. They were just
Mm-hmm.
horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody looked good in my opinion. Coleman Shelton and Nate Davis need to be benched.
Yeah, they
At
suck.
this rate, at this rate, I don't care if Doug Kramer's too little. I do not care. There's no way he could be worse than Coleman Shelton right now.
Man, I said,
Okay?
oh my gosh. Y'all gonna start listening, man.
Like
I've been
Nate
said
Davis,
play Doug, man.
we've
What is
been
he
saying
talking
this
about?
though. We've
We've
been
been
saying
talking
this
about
for
this. Just play
years.
Doug.
You need to fix your offensive line. This has
Yeah.
been four different quarterbacks, and our offensive line is still garbage. Jay
Garbage.
Cutler, it was garbage. Mitch Trubisky, it was garbage.
So
Justin
think about
Fields,
this.
it was garbage. And
It's
now
garbage
Caleb
now.
Williams, it's garbage. All you've done is cycle through quarterbacks, but you haven't fixed your real issue.
Like think about this. Olin Kreutz. Since Olin Kreutz, we've had what? 3 good offensive linemen?
Three.
3? Maybe
Well,
4? If you count Cody. Okay, we'll count Cody. We'll say
I'll
4.
count half of Cody because he fell off the last couple
Well,
years.
we'll give him a couple years. So we'll give him 4. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So Cody, Kyle Long,
Who
Darnell
couldn't
Wright,
stay healthy? Darnell Wright
and
and
Tevin.
Tevin.
And then right below them is Braxton. Because I'm
Like
not
it's
gonna put him
just
up there. That's 5 dudes since Olin
I'm not
Kreutz.
even putting him up there either. But
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
just
So you're telling me. So again, nobody's gonna spin the block and say this person was right. Blah blah blah. All these people was doing victory laps. This is what this is what the nuanced part of the conversation was. Everybody wanted to make it about Caleb versus Justin. It's never
Mhm.
been about Caleb versus Justin for some of us. It's always been about this sorry ass offensive line
And didn't
that
I
keeps
say that
trotting
over
out
the
there.
summer? Didn't I say
That's
that?
what we keep saying.
I kept saying I don't trust Matt Eberflus and I don't trust this offensive line. I've said that since the jump. I'm like, you can replace Justin if that's what you want to do, but that's not going to fix the problems on the offensive line. That's not going to fix your problems at the coaching spots. And I'm sorry, Shane Waldron obviously isn't fit to run an offense with Caleb Williams.
Not if you
Why would you just play 5-man protection knowing your offensive line can't protect the kid?
uh,
Pressure up the middle constantly. He snapped the ball, there's the pressure.
but that's again. So what did we say last week? If the Bears do the same type of game planning, then they're gonna lose. And guess what? They did the same type of game plan again. So it's like you saw enough on film against the Titans to say we're gonna run this against the Texans? Really? On the road?
Like it was just
Really? That made
and then the
zero
thing
sense.
is, you can't
Come
run
on,
the
dog.
ball, right? You can't run the ball either.
They didn't even try to run the
Like
ball. They
DeAndre
never
Swift had DeAndre Swift had 14 carries for 13 yards.
but they didn't even
Four-
try to run the ball.
They
They came
can't.
out trying to pass again.
I get
What?
that, but they also can't though.
But
They can't. Let's be honest about the situation. Most of our running last year came from Justin Fields. If we're being honest about the situation.
yeah, it was Justin. But I'm saying they not even trying. At least
I I mean 14 carries.
that's
You're
not trying.
trying.
That's
You're
14. They ain't even try. He dropped back 40. Was it 43 or 46 times? And they
42,
ran
I
the
think.
ball for
43.
22. That is
I
not
mean,
trying. That's
I
them.
mean,
That's
I get
them.
that I'm not saying they don't need to be more balanced. I get all that and I agree. But at the same time, you're not picking up positive yardage when you do run the football.
But they running from the gun though. How you
Like
gonna?
they should
How
be
you gonna?
running it from under center. I agree, but
That's what I'm saying. They not even.
is
That's what.
Caleb comfortable under center? Remember that was one of his big things is he
It
never
don't
played
matter
under
though.
center.
So you gonna just let him get killed because he ain't comfortable? Well, if he ain't comfortable, put Tyson in there then until his ass get
That's what
comfortable.
I'm saying.
That's you know what I'm saying. Like I
This
don't
is what I'm
care,
saying. You
y'all.
obviously if you're not gonna put Caleb in a position to succeed, he shouldn't be out there because you're gonna get him killed.
If he's
You're gonna
not
get like
if he's not comfortable getting on the center, put Tyson in there and let him run offense until Caleb feels it. If that's the case, if that's not the
right.
case, make his ass get on the center for some time because he is getting freaking murdered out there
He's
because
getting
y'all are
murdered
trying to
out there.
show him off in his arm. Who
Like
cares?
and
Win
let's
the
be real
freaking
about it,
game,
right?
dude.
Here's
God,
the thing
please.
though. While you're trying to show off his arm, he's out here waffling throws.
Mm-hmm.
Like he missed that first interception to DJ where the dude caught it like under his arm like this. That was underthrown. Had he thrown a little bit more, DJ probably could have wrangled it away from the dude. He
Right.
underthrew that one. And then the second one, or not, the first one got negated, but the second one was the one with DJ and it got
Mm-hmm.
clocked. But the third interception, the one where he tried to throw it to Cole. There were three dudes over there. I don't even know why you threw that. That is one of the. I hate when any quarterback does that. Don't ever throw a ball in the triple coverage. That is not good. Not good. Because
Did you
nine
see what
times
I was
out of
saying though?
ten, what?
Did you understand what I was saying last night about that? When I said that, when I brought that up, because we were talking about it, remember? And I said I noticed that because he is so used to 1-2 read, he did it last night, and I don't think nobody caught on to it. He's done it the first two games. Cole
Yeah,
didn't catch nothing. He didn't
that's
even
because
look. He didn't even look Cole's way in the first half. They didn't even look
no, he
his
didn't.
way. The second half, Cole had what 4 or 5 receptions.
He had
All
four
of a sudden,
catches.
Cole becomes the guy. Guess who gets triple covered on that interception? Cole
Cole.
Kmet. Why? Because Houston knew he locked in on one either Cole or DJ. He wasn't throwing nobody else. So
Right.
again, you're not helping him out because you know this is what he wants to do
Well,
because he got to
because
break himself out of that mode. So
but
you're not
to
helping
be
him at
fair
all.
though, Julius, that's pretty much all he can do right now. because
I
that's what
know.
he did in college.
That's what I'm saying. I
It,
agree.
like
I agree
I
with you.
don't.
They're
That's
not
another
helping
thing.
him out. They're not
They're
helping him
not.
out at
They're
all.
not. That Shane Waldron needs to be a whole heck of a lot better and needs to give Caleb simple throws. And I say this, I don't this ain't even a knock on Caleb. I think all young quarterbacks need this. They need to simplify the playbook.
Man, for
They
real.
they need to simplify. Obviously, you just need to give him plays he's most comfortable with, and you need to
Correct.
run those. I said that way. I ended up also with the Colts and Packers game. I was
Hmm.
watching Anthony Richardson. The Colts need to do the same thing. They need to simplify the playbook. Obviously, you're throwing too much at that kid. He's not ready for that. You need to
No, he's not.
dumb the playbook down. I think they need to do that with Caleb. And I'm not saying he's not smart. That's not what I'm saying when I say that. I'm saying that because obviously there's only so much he can handle right now, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole thing you want to do with Caleb is you want to keep his confidence up, right? So give him
Hmm.
stuff that he knows. Give him a simple read. Give him an easy completion here or there. Kind of like what they did the first half, right? With the quick
Hmm.
reads, he was getting the ball out, things like that. Keep doing that because that's what he's good at right now. And then when you start seeing it in practice, when you're opening up the playbook, then try and incorporate it in a game. But right now, obviously Caleb's at a certain level and just
Yeah.
keep him at that level for now. That's not a bad thing. That's not
I
a
mean,
bad
you
thing.
play to his strengths. It's kind of like so everybody thought, and we gonna talk about the Packers for a second. I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody thought Malik Willis was no good, right? Tennessee
Hmm.
gave up on him, blah, whatever. They gave him up to Green Bay for what, a fourth rounder? I think
It's
it was
seventh or something, sixth or
some,
seventh. It
yeah,
was a
sixth round.
seventh,
I
I
may be,
think.
yeah, right. But he went out yesterday and was efficient. He got the job done. They ran the ball. They won the game.
I mean
They
that
ain't
that
asking to
like
win the game. They ain't
right.
asking to
He
win the
and
game.
guess what?
But
Guess what?
Tennessee wanted him to be. They wanted him to do
Exactly.
stuff that he wasn't
They
ready for yet. Matt
right.
LaFleur said, "Okay, I know you can do this right here. That's what we sticking with." And guess what,
Exactly.
Indianapolis, you got to stop us, and they
Right.
didn't.
You got to
And that's
stop us. We're gonna
and
run the
that's the
football
problem.
down your throats. And we're gonna only ask Malik Willis to throw simple stuff.
And
It's not rocket science when you have young quarterbacks, in my personal opinion.
so
Pittsburgh does the same thing, right? People
oh yeah,
laugh
I
at
was gonna get
people
there. I was
laugh
gonna
at
get there.
Justin Fields, but guess what? He's winning games. Why? Because they're not asking them to go. They're not asking him to go out and be Superman. All they want him to do is take care of the football and let the defense handle the rest.
It's funny
That's
because
what the
I
Bears
was
need to do.
I was
With
going
Caleb
back and forth
Williams,
with
our
somebody else at
defense
first.
is good enough to carry Caleb Williams. So simplify the playbook. Don't have him do too much. That's where
Our
he's at
defense,
right now.
if you didn't
Okay?
realize, our defense is good enough to do the same exact thing Pittsburgh is doing with Justin right now.
Exactly.
You don't
Like,
have to put up points when your defense ain't giving up no damn points.
exactly.
You
So
can
simplify it. If Caleb goes 15 to 20 for 115 yards and one touchdown, that's good enough for me because guess what? Your defense is going to help you out. Your defense is going to help you out, and you're not asking Caleb to be Superman,
especially if you
right?
keeping it
Because
if the
that's not
offense
the
is
level,
moving the ball up and down the field,
right?
you
That's
ain't
not
gotta
the
put up a
level
lot of
he's at
yards.
right now. Can he get to a more efficient level and a better level in the future? Absolutely. No one's saying he can't, but right now he's not at that level, and that
I
is
just
okay. You
I just
have a
think
good
it's
enough defense where Caleb doesn't need to be that right now.
I just think it's
All
I
I
think
need
it's
Caleb to do is be efficient, run the football, take what's there, and let your defense help you out.
I think it's
That's what
unfair to ask these quarterbacks to do
e-
something only one
exactly.
guy is one
Yeah.
guy in the league that can do what
And that is Patrick
everybody
Mahomes.
wants. Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is the only dude that can alter his game to do
Yep.
whatever you need him to do. The rest of these guys need help. Jared
Exactly.
Goff threw 55 passes yesterday for
55 times. And they
347
lost.
yards, and they scored 16 points. Let me say that again. 16 points.
55 times. And he threw two interceptions.
16 points. But y'all
You
worried
know,
about
you know what was winning Detroit games? Running the ball,
running.
play action.
Did anybody watch the game last week? How they won the game? What did
They
they do in
won the
overtime?
game running the football down the LA Rams' throat. Why?
How many
Because these
times did
teams are not designed to stop the run. How do you think the Packers won? They ran the
they
ball down
ran the ball?
Indianapolis's throat.
The first half, they were destroying Indianapolis by running the ball.
That's how you beat a team like Indianapolis. Run
So
the ball down their throat. They're not going to
how did
stop it.
how did the Raiders come back yesterday?
They
They
ran the
ran
ball.
the ball. And then guess
This
what? That led to that play action pass where Devontae Adams
mhm.
was wide open in the end
Because
zone.
that's gonna ease up the pass rush, and that's what the Bears weren't doing, and that's what disappointed me yesterday. I'm like, y'all ain't even trying to help Caleb out. Run the ball more.
Did you see
That'll
what
ease
Houston
up
did in
that
the second
pass
half?
rush.
Did y'all realize when Houston they ran like 6 running plays in a row in the second half? Nobody
Yep.
called it. Nobody paid attention to that. When they knew the passing game, the Bears had figured out. They did. Oh shit, these dudes getting home. We got to run. They ran 6 run plays in a row, but nobody's
Yep.
gonna talk about that because
Like
that was a small portion of the game. But what you didn't realize is that helped get CJ back grounded because it was like,
yep.
okay, the Bears they was kicking it. They were jumping on him. It was
They were
over.
starting to get to him. He was starting to
He was starting to
struggle a
get
little
rattled.
bit.
You seen in his
Right. And
eyes,
so
and they
so
said,
Houston's
"Run the
like,
ball."
okay, let's just run the ball then.
If you
Let's
think
run
I'm
the ball.
lying,
Let's get him
Dante's in the
back.
comments right now. Dante, am I lying?
Nah, nah, and get them back to some easier completions. Things like that. This isn't
Mm-hmm.
rocket science. I think so much of it is people want Caleb to be good right away. It's just
Yep.
not gonna happen, right? But at the same time, I think people want to take their victory laps because all summer, all off season, all it was how good Caleb Williams is, how great
Mm-hmm.
he can be, how much he can elevate this team, and how much of this situation was just such a good situation for a rookie quarterback and blah 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 that people who were saying, "Hey, pump the brakes." We're getting laughed at. We're getting spit on. We're getting told they hate Caleb Williams. We're getting told they hate the Chicago Bears when really they were looking at the reality of the situation and was like, no, I don't trust this. I don't trust that. I want people to give Caleb time because I know there's going to be growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
And they were laughed at. They were
Yep.
laughed at and spit on and ridiculed. And now that the same people who were telling people to pump the brakes are the same people like ha 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 I told you so, it's because the people who are now trying to make the same exact excuses that I was making months ago.
Right. It's not. And
I
guess
I
what?
told you this months ago and you laughed in my face.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you told me I hate Caleb, even though I don't even hate Caleb.
Yeah.
I
Dante's
actually really
correct.
like Caleb. But I also understand that it's the freaking Chicago Bears.
Yep. So we're gonna see what the Bears do. We're gonna talk about that later, Dante. But yeah, we beat them because they ran the ball. He's talking about Houston, and Green Bay
Yeah.
beat them because they ran the ball. So both teams beat Indianapolis because they ran the ball. If the Bears, I'm gonna say it. We're gonna say
I
it one more
mean,
time.
Joe
If
Mixon
the
had
Bears come out
250
like they did,
yards.
150 yards. If the Bears come out next week with the same game plan they did this week, you didn't told me all I need to know. Y'all are
Right, you're
really
gonna
all
lose.
y'all care about is trying to show off Caleb, not win the game. Because
Like
if two
the,
teams have showed you how to
the
beat this one
blueprint.
team, and
Right.
you go against that, that means you're clearly
The
showing me, oh,
blueprint's
we're trying to show off our
literally out
toys.
there. Right.
Yep.
The blueprint's literally out there. How you beat Indianapolis? Run the football. Run the football. That's how
Yep.
you beat them.
If they don't do that, that shows me the
They
Bears
don't
are
have
more
any
concerned about
linebackers.
Caleb,
You run the
showing Caleb off.
football.
Yep. They have no linebackers, zero.
They have no
And
linebackers.
DeForest Buckner's probably not going to play. So if
He's
you don't
not.
run the
He's
ball,
not. He's got an ankle sprain.
yeah, if you don't run the ball next week, I swear, man. Oh my goodness.
Bro,
You
I'm
think
gonna
we
be
talking?
mad.
You think we gonna be mad now? Oh my goodness.
Right.
Because next week we should win.
We should win next week.
We should
If
win.
we lose to Indianapolis next week,
They
I
offense is they don't have offense.
bro, we're gonna have
Anthony Richardson
serious
is
problems. We should
Anthony
beat Indy
Richardson.
next week. They're not
Yeah,
good.
Anthony Richardson's arm. He has a cannon, but he don't know how to control that thing yet.
He's inconsistent.
So he
And
don't know how to
Richardson,
control it yet.
he Richardson's the thing with Richardson is he's reckless, right?
He is
So
exactly.
he'll he'll make this crazy play and you'll be like, oh my gosh, wow, look at the touch and the accuracy. And then the next play, he's throwing it into triple traffic and it gets picked off. And I'm like, what? What? Like,
Yeah,
it's just some of his decisions are so boneheaded.
terrible,
But,
terrible,
like,
terrible. But
like,
anyways, but yeah, no. So okay, that's so
but
we saw Caleb. So again, I think we talked about it. Caleb needs to. They need to dial it back and let him
yeah,
make special plays when he needs to make them because after getting hit so many times, he's missing easy throws such as that one to DJ when DJ
right.
had to, he had inside leverage on the defender and cut it outside and Caleb threw it in the dirt.
And you know why that was, right, Julius? It's because he
No,
probably was like, damn, his eternal clock.
yeah,
What do we talk about? That
got sped
internal
up.
clock got sped up last night. It was like, oh shit, am I gonna get hit? That's
Even
why I'm
wrong.
like, no, they need to dial it back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask the offensive line to do stuff you know they can't do.
He
Run the
threw he
ball,
yeah.
give Caleb easy completions. That's where this
Yeah,
offense is at
yeah,
right now. And
he is
that is
missing receivers,
completely
but
fine. We have a good enough defense. We don't
defense
need the offense
stellar.
to be a firepower right now. We don't need it to be a juggernaut right now. We have a good enough defense.
Yeah,
Dial it
he
back offensively,
mm-hmm.
right? Get Caleb easy completions. Get him on the move. Move the pocket. That's another
Yes.
thing. Move the pocket. Get him out on the move. That'll
Where the
also help your
boots?
offensive
Where the
line.
bootlegs? Where all that
Right,
we saw in
bootlegs,
preseason?
play
Like
action.
T was talking about last night. We ain't seen no play action, no bootlegs, none of that. Where's
Right.
all that? None of it.
Like I
Where'd it
need to
go?
see that next week, right? Keep his confidence up. Give him
You want to see him
this
get his
simple
first
stuff.
touchdown? Do a bootleg, play action. I
Right.
guarantee you somebody gonna be wide open.
Exactly. Like, give him easy stuff. So, you know, that's where we're at. That's where the offense is at right now. That
Mm-hmm.
is completely fine.
Yep.
That's where they need to be. Caleb doesn't need to put up these big numbers, okay, for
Yep.
me to be satisfied. But I don't want to see him out there struggling when I know he's better than that.
Flus.
I know he's better than that.
I
But they're
need
not
I
they're
need
not helping the kid out.
I need Flus and Pose to get their asses in gear and stop trying to force this issue.
Right. Let
Win the
like it's
freaking game. Who
win
cares,
the
my man?
game.
God dang it!
The
Like
kid doesn't
y'all,
need
this
to
is getting
the kid doesn't need to be a hero right now, right?
yeah. Stop trying to
Like
make
don't
bro. We get it. We get it. He is the guy. Nobody's questioning that. We can't. It's too late now. But daggone it, use him what he can do now and stop trying to make him this Patrick
and I
Mahomes
think
guy in the first two games. He ain't Patrick
yep,
Mahomes.
he's
Nobody
not.
is.
Not
Stop
there
it.
yet. And I think that's where Carolina messed up. They wanted Bryce to do too much too soon. They should have just
Yeah.
simplified everything.
Yeah, they
That's
just
like
yeah,
these
Bryce.
a lot of these quarterbacks are young. Quiet as it's kept, right? 23, 24, 22, 23, 24, 25. They're young. I hate to be that one, but you have to simplify it for the guys that young. You have to simplify your offense. It's just it is what it is.
Take
Some of
what the
them just
defense
aren't.
gives you.
What?
Take what the defense gives you.
Exactly.
If they
That's
give
what
you a
you need to
5 yard
do.
out, take it. Who cares?
Exactly.
Guess
Like
what?
you literally saw it with CJ Stroud last night. They're like, okay, you know what? He's starting to get rattled. Let's dial it back again. Run the
Like
ball, run the ball, run the
people
ball. Oh
talking about
look, the pass play
quarterbacks
opened
checking
up.
down.
Right?
People talking
Oh
about people checking down. Like Tom Brady is the king of check downs.
yes,
Like
he
what are
is.
we talking about?
But
Like
so is Patrick Mahomes. Because
right.
his receivers are the kings of yak. Okay?
Yeah,
Sometimes that's
man.
what you have to do, right? And it's not a bad thing. That's what I want people to understand that. It's not a bad thing.
Yes.
It's really not. If like I said, if he shows in let's say next week they simplify the office, right? They
Mm-hmm.
win the game and they go back home for to prepare for the Rams, right? And you see
Right.
him practice, hey, he's doing this really, really well, and he does it multiple days in a row. Then you can add it to your playbook because
Mm-hmm.
obviously he's understanding that concept a lot better, right? But don't
Yep.
put in concepts you know he's struggling with. Don't do that. That's just not smart. That's not smart.
And not just him, the offensive line is struggling with it.
Exactly. You
So if
you
they
know your offensive line has issues. So don't put them in a position where they're
Mhm.
gonna struggle. Don't do that. Don't do
So,
that. Like that's
so
just
again,
that's bad. That is bad coaching. Okay,
so we,
you
yep.
you know your deficiencies. And
So,
if I'm Matt Eberflus, he spoke today, and I didn't like what he said.
what do you
But
say?
if I'm Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles and Chris Morgan and Shane Waldron, I'm trying to shake up the offensive line, right?
Mhm.
I need the best five possible, right?
Right.
Especially on the interior. I need the best three guys in that interior offensive line. Because if that's the play you're gonna get, that's just not good, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to figure out something in that interior, especially on the right side and at center. I think I think you try Doug Kramer and Matt Pryor and see how it goes.
Right.
Um, have them test it out week 4 against Indy because again, Indy stinks. So
They suck.
you know,
They
so I
they can't
think I
stop a
think I
nosebleed.
think this is the perfect game for them to test that kind of
Right.
combination out. Right? Is a game then this ain't that good of a team. So let me try this out. But you need the best five possible to protect Caleb. Right? To get
Hmm.
him in a rhythm early. Right? So I think that's what they need to do. Um, I, I hope Caleb's okay. He took a beating yesterday. Like
He
you
did.
saw him on the
He got
sideline, there
whooped.
was like one clip of him. He had like this big knot on his head. I'm like, yeah, like
Yeah.
they're gonna get this kid killed. So
Hmm.
hopefully, he's iced up. Took a nice ice bath or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
Shoot, he might be sore today and tomorrow, so
Yeah.
I
He,
wouldn't
he.
have him. I wouldn't have him do too much, but it's that you need to fix your offensive line absolutely for sure. It's still to me, I like that Cole Kmet was more involved, but I still don't like the fact that he only got 4 targets and he only got them in the second half. That's got to be fixed.
Yeah.
He
It took
should
the
be
second
he
half
should be he should be used throughout the entire game, just like
throughout the
DJ
game.
Moore.
Yep.
Like those two need to be used throughout the entire game. I shouldn't be seeing DeAndre Carter lined out up there on the slot getting getting these receptions that DJ Moore's not getting.
They ain't even put
Okay.
Tyler Scott out there. What
You
What'd
didn't
you
even
activate
put
him
Tyler
for?
Scott out there.
What
I
did you
would have took
activate
it
him for?
better if that was Tyler Scott. Okay.
No.
I would have been like, okay, at least it's Tyler Scott. But DeAndre Carter, leave him on punt and kick returns, right? I was so happy to see Valus inactive yesterday. Okay? Y'all don't even know. I was so happy that man was inactive yesterday.
It
One
wasn't a
step
matter.
closer to getting that dude off of my squad. Okay?
Nah, we got way more problems to worry about than Valus Jones.
But
I don't
no,
even care. He can stay, whatever. Shit.
I do think
They ain't gonna.
I do think that Shane Waldron needs to call a better game.
Absolutely.
He
Yep.
needs to he needs to scheme these guys open, but also I think that could help the receivers too, simplifying the offense and help your tight ends. Right, this is a new playbook for everybody. Right,
Hmm.
so obviously, and you should know that. Right, this is a new playbook for everybody, a new scheme for everybody. So do the plays everybody's comfortable with. Hey, you
Yep.
comfortable with this? Yes. Hey, Caleb, you comfortable with this? Yeah. Hold on, you comfortable with this? Yeah. And that's what we're running because that's what they can run because I know they can go out there and execute that play 9 times out of 10.
Hmm.
That's just where this offense is right now. And that's completely understandable. I said this in the offseason. This is going to take some time, right? You got a new quarterback. This is a new playbook, right? The offensive
Hmm.
line has to gel together as a cohesive unit. So this is going to take some time. So I think for the Bears, they need to stop trying to like push this offense to what it can be and make it something that it is right now.
Right. Work with what you
Focus
got
what it
right now.
is right now. That other stuff will come, I promise. It'll come. But it's just not there right now. That's not the level you're at right now. I would say they're at a level 1, which is simple. They're at the simple level.
Yep.
A simple. I liked seeing a slant yesterday. A slant. They need to run more of those. But
Yep.
a
Way
slant.
more.
Do
Yep.
do some crossers. Maybe move the pocket. Like I said, move the pocket. Some bootlegs, play action. So, that's the level you're at right now, and that's
Hmm.
completely fine. It's gonna win you the game. Your defense can carry you. I mean, freaking Kyler Gordon almost had a crazy pick six. Had the ball not touched the ground. That would have been a
Right.
crazy pick six.
That would have
They
been
picked up
crazy.
that fumble off of Cam Akers, right? So your
Yep.
defense is very good.
They get turnovers.
Very good.
They doing what Blue said he wanted them to do.
Right.
Keep getting turnovers. So they are getting turnovers.
They're
So
getting turnovers, so they're helping your offense. That's why the offense, all I need them to do is even if you're just kicking a field goal, if you're just getting the offense down there for Kyle to kick a field goal, you're at least leaving with points, right?
right, right,
And
right,
that's
exactly.
helping your defense as well, because that keeps them on the sideline to get a breather, correct? Time
Yep.
of possession. You know how that helps? Run the ball.
Yeah, I just saw Lucas Patrick's grade. Oh my god.
Bro, how come every
97
person,
two.
bro, how come he left and looking like a G right now? That don't make sense.
Terrible. This is
This
terrible.
is terrible, bro. But
Terrible.
remember Sam, you remember Sammy Musty looked like that when he was in
Hmm.
Baltimore them first two games? And I was like, what kind of Mustafa is this? What?
Well, what they knew Musty was just a temporary replacement. So he did what he had to do in them 2 games, and then his butt went right back to the bench. They knew
I
what it
mean,
was.
hey, he the backup now for I think the LA Chargers. So yeah, he.
Hmm.
I said,
Oh,
I told Chargers fans, I said, just pray Bradley Bozeman don't get hurt.
so yeah, 2 things.
You,
Chargers. Yep, I'm glad you brought up the Chargers. 2 things. One, I don't think Joe Alt's given up a pressure yet in 2 games.
no, he hasn't.
Two, we told y'all what the Chargers offense is gonna look like. We
Mm-hmm.
told y'all. Because why? Because we're both Michigan fans, and we
Yeah.
knew what Harbaugh was gonna do. He gonna
He
get off the
likes to
bus
run the
running
football.
the ball.
He likes to punch people in the mouths.
Justin
Justin
Herbert
Herbert had
had,
130 yards yesterday.
I think he threw 20, 24. He had 24
20,
pass
no,
attempts.
20 times. 20
20, oh,
times.
maybe 20. I'm sorry, 20.
He was
Told
14
y'all.
to 20 for 130 yards and one touchdown, one interception.
We said this in the spring. If you think Justin
Efficient.
Herbert is gonna have a huge season, numbers wise, probably not. Not nope. If
And
he
he
does,
loves it
it'll
too.
be
He loves it too.
it'll
He's
be
like, I
later
love
on in the
having a
year.
dominant run game. Why? That takes pressure off your quarterback, and your quarterback isn't taking unnecessary hits.
And just think about this. And I was telling my boy this yesterday. We was talking about this because he was like, I don't know, Herbert, blah blah blah. Bro, if I would rather have a Herbert that's only got to throw 20 passes than Herbert that's got to throw 30. I mean 45. Because guess what?
Exactly.
We all know he can throw the ball and
Right.
he's efficient. So you tell me he got 20 passes and you got to stop this man? 45 times you got more opportunities for him to make mistakes. If you know
Exactly.
Justin Herbert, I'm not a Herbert fan, but if you only got 20 times, that's like playing Aaron Rodgers in his prime. Like, good luck. Think you gonna get a pick? Okay, all right.
See, and that's how you limit turnovers, right? Especially these young quarterbacks, don't have them be throwing the ball 30, 40, 50 times.
Hmm.
Keep it simple. Keep it at about 20 to 25, and that'll limit your turnovers with a young quarterback. Cuz you let them throw it enough, they'll make a mistake, promise you.
Oh,
And I
well,
think that was the problem with the Bears and Caleb Williams. They let him throw it too many times.
they
And
don't listen to you.
the more he started to throw, the more the mistakes started to show up. And I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, we got to cut that down."
We can
Right?
we can hold Simo accountable, Zay, but guess
We
what?
can hold him
Them dudes,
accountable, but at the end of the day, right?
we never said him throwing the ball is not a problem. We never said that. We said they need to run the ball. So we actually agree with you. And Simo, yes, the offensive line needs to be better. Absolutely. Simo
I
needs
didn't
to be
say
held
they didn't
accountable
have
to
to
them.
be.
But them play calls, running out the gun,
Right.
all that is not good. And we know this.
Right.
And I know you
That's
know this
and
because you
that's
know
not on
football.
Chris Morgan because
No.
he's not the one calling those plays.
Yeah, exactly. That's all
That's
I'm
on
saying.
Shane Waldron.
Yeah, Shane Waldron has to
So
do better.
Shane Waldron has to do better. Chris Morgan has to do better. But at the same time,
Hmm.
you hey, you're an NFL professional. What did I hear all last year? At some point, you have to elevate yourself. Isn't that
Yeah,
what I heard?
yep, you do. You gotta elevate yourself.
So,
Something like that. I don't know, man.
oh,
He
I
should
don't know,
figure that out.
Justin. Justin, I was ready to punch a screen yesterday. That first challenge was so. I'm like, you
So
idiot.
stupid.
Like, I'm
You
like,
right
bro.
there.
I'm like, bro, you were right there. You clearly saw
Right
he was in
there.
bounds. Like, that was so dumb. And then the
We
pick six,
agree.
I'm like, and then the pick
Zay,
six one, I'm like, bro, the ball touched the ground.
I don't know if you was here 10 minutes ago, Zay. That's exactly what I said. The game plan is trash.
Yeah, it
I said
is.
he. I said they did. They need to either decide what they want to do. Either
Yeah,
you
you
want
missed
to
what
showcase
I don't think
Caleb.
he was here in the beginning
It might, I
because we
said they
talked
need.
about it.
Yeah, you either need to decide if you want to showcase Caleb or you want to win. And to me, it
Because
seems
we
like they
talked
want to
about it.
showcase Caleb. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, do y'all want to win? Because you know you got the defense to win. If you run the
I just
ball
don't want.
and put him in short situations where he can use his
Right, I
athleticism,
just don't
use
want them like
his
you
quick
know.
trigger, all that. Come on, man. But
Nobody
they not doing that
nobody
though.
likes to talk about it, but especially with quarterbacks, they're delicate, right? They're delicate,
Hmm.
fragile guys on the field. Like not like mentally, but like like a lot is put on them
Hmm.
at one time, and it's like sometimes it's like that's too much, right? So you look at, and this is where I think Carolina messed up. You look at the situation right now; they just benched Bryce Young. I
Yep.
thought they should have played Andy Dalton his rookie year, right? Like you don't want to wreck a young, especially a young quarterback, right? Because to be honest, I think there's a time and a place for them to be humbled, but there's also a time and a place where you kind of have to nurture them, right? That we yeah we said all this. I don't think he was here,
No,
but
you weren't here. We talked about all
he
that
was
shit.
not here. We talked about all of that. I
Yep.
said that. I said, how about we use play action? How about we move the
Totally
pocket?
agree with this.
Y- Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Travis Homer should not be out there, bro. Why is he taking running back reps? I don't understand this.
Mhm.
Like, I guess Shane Waldron really likes him. That's what I heard. I guess blah blah blah. Like, I think he worked with Shane Waldron in Seattle. I'm like,
He
I
did. He
don't
was there.
care.
Yeah.
He's not better than Khalil Herbert or Roshan
Nope. Or
Johnson.
Roshan. Nope. He's
So,
not.
like, I don't care if y'all know each other. This was my problem with Gerald Everett. I don't care, bro. He's not better than Cole Kmet. Okay, like he's a good tight end too. That's great, but he should not be tight end one. Period. That's Cole Kmet's job.
Hmm.
Like, come on. Like, some of these personnel decisions were not good by Shane Waldron. For
Yeah.
the past 2 weeks, they
I
haven't
don't
been good.
understand. I remember. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly which. I know you saw the Texans bringing six. Here's
Yep.
Gerald Everett on the line. His man is over him. So you got seven because his man was covering him. So it's six
Yep.
guys. Why did Gerald Everett decide to run a route? You should have just been like, nope. I know this blitz coming. I got to help. My quarterback done got hit 7 times already. I
Right.
got
Like,
what is
dude.
Bud do? He run out and run a route, and his man said, "Up, I'm
And
going
and
right to the
and
quarterback." You
and
damn
Julius,
dummy!
right. And Julius, I think you brought up a good point when you said I think that's when he started to miss throws, is when he started to get hit a lot more, right? The
Hmm.
throws that I'm like, he usually makes that is because you didn't sped up his internal clock now. So he's like, he's worried about, am I about to get hit here? You got to bring that back down, right? You got to bring, so that's why I say simplify the playbook this week,
Man, for
right?
real.
Give him easy completions, early completions. Get him in a rhythm, like we did the first drive. Like the first
Yep,
two drives, I thought that was perfect.
it
That's what
was.
they need to
He
do.
looked comfortable. He looked
He
good.
looked comfortable. That's what
But
they
they
need to do. That's the level they're at.
but
Once
they
he
should have added
started to
some play
open up
action in
this
there. They did.
playbook and they started letting the Texans just rush 4, 5, 6, I'm like, yeah, we can't do that. That's not where our offense is. Go back to what worked that first half. That's what needs to be the game plan this week. That's where they are. And that's where you got Caleb most comfortable. Don't rattle his internal clock to what it already is. Don't do that. Cause then he's gonna start missing the throws that you know he can make.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are throws you know he can make. He can make those. We've all seen it, right? But you start
You
taking
ain't
them
do no
hits,
quick outs. You ain't do
right?
nothing. You could have had two running backs in the backfield. As soon as they bring their pressure, just throw it right over their heads. Get
Right.
Swift for a big gain
But
or
once you
a
start taking
Roshan or
them
somebody.
hits, right, that throws you
They ain't do
off.
none of that. It's like, bro, what are you? Oh my god.
Right. So don't
Anyway,
so I am going to be looking for Shane Waldron to call a better offensive game plan. I want him to
absolutely.
I want him to simplify this playbook, help the offensive line, help Caleb Williams, help your receivers, your tight ends, all of that. Your running backs, right? And I would come out running the ball first because you're not going to gain any traction.
Mhm.
Um, I said this for 3 years. Okay,
Yep. They
I
should have
talked
got
about the
Van
center
Pran.
position for 3 years,
They should have got Van Pran.
and
They had a chance to get him.
Ryan Poles keeps choosing to band aid the position. So at that point, I stopped wasting energy.
Hmm.
Okay, like, and that's another thing is I think we need to start holding Ryan Poles accountable as well, right?
I agree.
I know we want to hold Chris Morgan accountable, and that's fair. He deserves criticism. We want to hold Shane Waldron accountable. Fair. He deserves criticism. We want to hold Matt Eberflus accountable. Fair. He deserves criticism. But so does Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles deserves criticism as well. You've had 3 years to get this offensive line fixed, and you haven't. You haven't. And I'll give him credit for the Darnell Wright pick. I thought it was a great pick. I love that pick. But you still don't have three other positions.
Right.
And even
Exactly.
Tevin hasn't played well enough where I even want to say that. Because he's struggled these past two games. Actually, he's been struggling since the Packers game last year, last game of the season. So, you know, and supposedly you and Ian Cunningham came from places that built the offensive line, correct?
That's
They
what they
came
said.
from Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Yet
Yep.
here I am. I'm seeing Nate Davis and Coleman Shelton getting rocked on their ass, and and it's like, dude, like, can we just have somebody who's strong enough to not get pushed back into Caleb's lap? It's
Right. They
ridiculous.
tripping.
Like they're literally the ball gets snapped. The D lineman's just pushing them all the way back, like they don't have any strength whatsoever. I'm just like, bro, you know, I don't know, man. But they need to Ryan Poles needs to take some accountability for that as well. Like he's part to blame for this as well. Because he's had 3 years to fix this offensive line. He's had 3 years to take his center and he hasn't. And that's been probably the biggest weakness besides right guard that's been on this offensive line is center. And that, to me, is the most important position on the offensive line because he's like the second quarterback. He's calling the protections. He holds the ball. He has the ball just as much as the quarterback. So they need to stop goofing around and they need to take us. They either need to draft a center. Well, actually, they should still draft one anyway. Draft a center and then sign a competent one in free agency. But that's the thing with linemen is usually the best linemen never leave. 9 times out of 10.
Right.
So
Right.
they just need to buckle
I'm
down and they
figuring it
need
out.
to draft one. They need to draft one. They need to stop playing around. Draft a center. Okay, stop with the nonsense. Like, stop it. So, and another key to the game. I would start running on first and second down, right? Because that I think that'll help the run game get into a rhythm too, right? Instead of coming out passing, I'm gonna come out running the football. Defensively, I think they need to start out fast. So how they come out in the second half, I want them to be like that the whole game, right? Because with better teams, right, it's going to be harder and harder to rely on your defense to win that. So if they can come out guns blazing, snap one, yeah, let's boom. I don't have too many, keys for them because like I said, they've been really excellent. But I want
Yeah,
if that's the one thing I want from them is I want them to come out snap one, guns blazing, let's go. Let's get interceptions, takeaways, sacks, fumbles, whatever. So I think that'll be my keys for the defense. And then just, be there for each other. I thought I didn't like the body language I saw with a lot of the guys on the team yesterday. Um, like, and look, I love DJ Moore. Really, really, really good dude, right? But as a captain, and this is just my opinion, as a captain, right, you have to lead by example, right? So you have to you have to know, hey, look, this is Sunday night, the world's watching. I have to have better body language as a leader of this team, as a captain of this team, right? Because what message are you sending to the other guys? They're following you. So I think I think these guys need to start playing for each other, start encouraging each other on the sidelines. Be like, "Hey, let's go. Good job." Blah blah blah. That type of thing. So,
I
you know,
wonder.
we-
I wonder if DJ
mm,
got frustrated because maybe the game plan wasn't what they discussed, or they changed it up, and maybe
I
he just
mean,
got absolving at that. And I'm not absolving him of his body language and all that. What I'm saying is, you could tell he was frustrated, and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
I've seen this movie before, and I'm tired of seeing it. Like,
yeah.
it,
I agree. Maybe they changed some things and the game plan isn't wasn't going as it was supposed to. I'll give you that, and I agree. I just think you know, yeah, you kind of have to control that in a way, right? Because wasn't that what we got on them for week one of last season? Was hey, like y'all are leaders of this team. Your body language has to be a lot better, right? So you know, but
yeah, no, I think, and it didn't matter. To answer what they talking about in the chat, it wouldn't have mattered if Justin was there or not. He would have got killed last night too.
yeah, I mean,
That's just the way it was. It wasn't nothing that Justin could have did. It wasn't nothing anybody could have did. He got destroyed too because it was the game plan. It had nothing to
yeah,
do with the offensive line. Couldn't block nobody.
yeah,
They couldn't block themselves.
yeah.
And
They could, they can't block. The offensive line is our issue right now. It's a big issue. Like you could put Tyson Bagent out there, and he probably would have got sacked 7 times. Like here we
well,
go.
I don't even know
I
about
wouldn't
and
say that, Zay.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
I don't know what game you were watching, but
that man threw a 50-yard rope down the
y-
sideline to George Pickens yesterday.
yeah, like I wouldn't say that. Sometimes you got to watch what you type in the comments, but and even watching Caleb, I wouldn't say he had some amazing throws, but okay.
Nah, he didn't really have nothing
Anyway,
amazing yesterday. He had a couple of good throws, but amazing, I'm not gonna
right,
say
amazing
amazing.
is a stretch.
That
That's
one throw he threw when he couldn't really see, was it Carter? They threw to
Carter.
when the lineman was in his face.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
yeah,
That
that was
was
a good one. I thought that was a good one, but let's not.
yeah.
I mean, he's 2-0 right now, Zay. So I would just sit this one out, bro. Just sit this one
I'm
out.
not gonna say if he's that guy or not. It's too early to tell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like it's just but you gotta
No,
wait and see, man.
he's talking about Pittsburgh playing
I know, I
Cleveland.
know, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, Cleveland hasn't looked good, so take for that what you will. You
No, no,
realize that? Wait,
nobody. We're not talking about getting the ball out quicker though.
hold on. I saw this stat this morning on Get Up. Justin Fields is 14 of 14 when he gets the ball out in 2.5 seconds or less. So I would again. This is why just bow this one out. Bow this one out. Because you're looking stupid. Bow this one out.
What are y'all talking about?
Like
He is playing. He is
he
playing
is
good.
playing well. Like just bow this one out, bro.
What
Stop
are
it.
y'all talking about? Y'all gotta stop
Th-
looking at these numbers, man.
right, these box score
Bro,
watchers,
stop box score
watchers,
watching, bro. Y'all
like
tripping.
box score watchers. Okay,
Oh my
so
god.
like, but even still, if Tyson was out there, he would have got sacked 7 times too.
Who's hyping him up? We said he did
Right.
enough to win the game. That's the problem right now. Hold on, Lee. Let me get this. That's the problem right now. This is the same conversation I had with dude earlier. Nobody's hyping him up. He's doing exactly what Pittsburgh asked him to do. Y'all are the ones looking for him to throw for 300 yards and complaining that he
Mm-hmm.
threw for 117 in a win. Nobody cares but y'all. Y'all the only ones care. Go ask a Pittsburgh fan, do they care that they 2-0 and Justin threw for 117 yards?
No, they
They
don't.
don't
Trust
give a
me,
damn.
they do
Because guess
not
what?
care.
The Their culture is about winning. That's the
Yep.
problem with our culture. We so worried about guys looking like Superman and
We're in
not worried
love with
about winning.
stats. We're in love with stats and not wins, and it
Yeah,
showed
man.
last night. Like, dude, and this is how I know he wasn't here when I said this. I said, and I stand on this. If Caleb was 15 to 20 for 120 yards and 1 touchdown, and we won the game because they're moving the
Great.
pocket, bootlegs, rollouts,
I've been
I would
happy.
be very happy. Why? Because he won the game. He was efficient. Didn't turn the ball over and let his defense work for him.
Exactly.
Like, like it's not rocket science. This guy doesn't need to come out and throw for 300 yards. Jared Goff threw 55 times yesterday,
55.
and they only scored 16 points and lost. And lost.
Lost 16 points and he threw up 350 yards on 55 attempts. Said
I watched this story in Detroit with Matthew Stafford. He put up these great numbers, these great stats. Oh, they were pretty stats. Beautiful. They were pretty stats, right? But he was never winning games. That's why Detroit got rid of him. I don't No, I didn't block you for that reason. If I have to explain to you why I blocked you, then
we ain't got to rehash that anyway.
right, we
But
ain't got to rehash that. You should know
so
why.
hopefully, so
So,
next
but
week the
anyway,
Bears play the
like I was
Colts.
saying,
They're
I
going to the
saw that
game,
in
right?
Detroit, bro. At some point, you just want to win the football game. This is why Mike Tomlin is so good at his job. He doesn't care about the stats. He cares about, did I get a W at the end of the day? Did I get a W in the win column? If I got a W in the win column, I'm sitting pretty. Period. I'm sitting pretty.
What's up, Barrelissimo?
Like, okay, bro. Whatever. Hey, Barlissimo. What's up, bro? Never said I was putting words in my mouth, Zay. But welcome back to the chat. Glad to know you're still pressed about my life. Anyway, anyway, like I said, Justin Herbert threw for 130 yards yesterday, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and they won the game. And he only threw the ball 20 times. Efficient enough for me. A win's a win. Okay. The J.K. Dobbins went off.
He
I think
did.
he ran for what? He had what? 200 yards yesterday.
100. Shoot, hold on.
I don't know. It was a lot. So,
Let me
yeah,
see.
as long as I see a W, great. You know. Hey,
Give me a
Caleb
second.
threw for 94 yards week 1, and we won the game. Guess who was happy?
Him and Gus
Me.
Edwards went off. Both of them went off.
Both
All
went
right,
off.
let me see. Let me see.
Okay, Zay.
Let me see. Player stats. Okay.
That's what it is, CB. They just want a 4,000-yard passer to feel
So
satisfied with.
J.K. Dobbins had 17 carries,
Uh huh.
131 yards,
Jeez.
and a touchdown. Gus Edwards had 18 carries, 59 yards.
Uh huh.
And then Herbert was 14 and 20 for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
Oh, 2 touchdowns. Okay.
Quentin
Interception.
Johnson had 5 receptions, 51 yards, 2 touchdowns,
Wait, you said 130 yards?
130 yards.
Where was that 200? But this is just a Herbert.
Justin Herbert, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception.
Wait a second. Did they win the game?
They won the game 26-3.
So they won the game, and Justin Herbert didn't throw for 200 yards.
He 130 yards,
Wow. Hmm. Interesting. All right. Well, that's interesting.
man.
Hmm.
I'm looking
Wow.
at it.
Only
It looks good.
130 yards passing, and they
130
won
yards.
the game.
Mahomes threw for 154, I think it was, wasn't it?
Who?
154. Mahomes threw for
Yeah, 150,
151.
151.
I'm
He
sorry,
threw for
151. I
151.
gave him 3 more yards.
What? And he had what? 2 interceptions? He threw 2 interceptions or one?
Yeah, they did beat the hell out of the Panthers.
Yeah, they
Uh,
did. Mahomes threw 2 interceptions, threw for 51 yards, and they won the game.
yeah,
Why? Because they know. Hey, you know what Mahomes told his defense? That had the game right. They
yeah.
showed him over there on the sidelines. Told his defense, hey, just give me the ball at the end.
Right, because he had a
And
terrible
guess what?
interception. Terrible,
Defense did its job, and guess what Mahomes did? He marched them right down the field and got Bucker in the field goal range to kick the game winner.
terrible
And he
interception.
was playing terrible the whole game.
Yep,
But his
sure
defense
was.
was like, we know Mahomes will be able to get us
Hmm.
down the field if we just get our 4 stops here. We get our 4 stops here, we know Mahomes is going to do what he does.
Yeah,
I don't need him to throw for 200 yards because I know at the end of the day he's going to show up when it matters. He could throw for
guess what?
100 yards and still win the game because at the end of the day, all Mahomes needs is that last
Two
opportunity.
of the three guys that threw for 300 yards yesterday lost.
Mhm.
Let that sink in.
Yep.
Two or
Yep.
three lost,
What was that? Goff?
and
Who else?
I just saw it earlier. I'm sorry, I had to look it up.
Burrow, right? Didn't Burrow throw for 300?
Hold on, I'll tell you. I just had it. Sorry, I think. Yeah,
Might have been Burrow and then somebody else. But yeah, stats ain't the
Golf
end
and
all be
Purdy.
all.
Golf and
Huh?
Purdy. Golf
Purdy?
and Purdy had 300 yards, and Geno Smith had 300, but they won.
CJ Stroud had 280 something. He had 286. He did not throw for 300.
He did not. I
We
just told
said people
you
who
three
threw for
people,
300 lost. They
300
win.
yesterday. Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Geno Smith. 260, yeah.
Yeah, 260, not even 280. 260. So, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care how you get the dub. Did you get the dub? That's why
Yep.
I was happy last week. Okay?
So efficiency doesn't equal yards.
If you got to have an efficient passer, how did we win the game last week? Because 48.2% is not efficient.
Anyways,
If I got to have an efficient passer to win in this league, how the hell did I finish with someone who completed 48.2% of their passes?
yeah. Well,
Uh,
we solved the keys of the game, y'all.
anyway,
We didn't
these
ran over
people
an
are
hour.
these people don't have common sense. Common
So
sense.
well, we will
Be,
be.
wait. He said efficient passer. So if somebody is 13 or 14 or 20,
That's efficient.
that's not efficient.
That is efficient.
But they only threw for 130
Doesn't
yards.
matter. That's efficient though. Y'all
But
know what
how?
efficient is, right? It doesn't equate yards, man.
Exactly.
Right? You can't beat Mahomes if you're not passing the ball. But Burrow was, I would say, he was efficient yesterday. Still lost.
Burrow was efficient and still lost the game.
Let me
He
see.
outplayed Mahomes and still lost the game.
Still lost.
That's how good
Let me
Mahomes
see.
is.
I'm gonna look at Burrow's numbers right now before we
Like,
get up
that's
out of
how
here.
good
Hold
Mahomes
on.
is. Like, trying to compare somebody to Mahomes, that's not even fair. Mahomes is in a tier by himself. It's Mahomes and then everybody else.
So Burrow,
Yet you're invested in what I'm doing. Why are you here if you're
Bur-
that pressed about
Burrow was
who I root for?
Burrow was 23 of 36, 258 yards. He
Wow.
had a passer rating of 103.7, but he got sacked 3 times.
Yep. And Mahomes,
Six,
what was
percent.
Mahomes' numbers?
Hold on. He was 18 to 25, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He got sacked twice, 80.6 passer rating.
Wait, so you mean to tell me that he was 18 or 25?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that efficient?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
70%. I think it
And
was
and he only threw for how many yards?
151.
Hmm. All right. Sack twice, you
He's
said?
72%.
Sack twice, you said?
Yep. Two
Hmm.
touchdowns, 2 picks.
Hmm. They won the game, right?
Oh yeah, it did.
Okay.
He made the
I was
play when
just
he needed
checking.
to. But anyways, though,
They
we
hating on
appreciate y'all, man. Make
that.
sure y'all like and
Don't worry.
subscribe.
CBP film. He just obsessed with me, bro.
It's all right, man. Yeah,
Cause I won't unblock his ass on Twitter, so he must
we
follow me
good, man.
here on
We
my
good.
personal platform. So it's okay. He's
We
obsessed.
good. We
I get it.
appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We'll be back next week, like always. We will see y'all next week. We'll be hopefully talking about a Bears win, be a victory
We
Monday.
should win. I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna lie. Like if we lose to the Colts, bro.
yeah. If we lose the Colts,
Like
man, then y'all can start rioting. But right now, let's calm down. We definitely need to see the offensive line play better.
play
But
a
we
lot better.
also like
Waldron, call a better game plan.
we'll we'll see
Don't
CB.
put
I'll let you
Caleb
know.
out there to die.
Yeah, yeah. So y'all calm down on Caleb wasn't the guy because honestly we don't know yet. It's too early. But he when he has his opportunities, he definitely needs to be better, in my opinion. Um, but Shane Waldron also has to call a better game, and he
Mm-hmm.
needs to be more efficient running the ball. And the offensive line can get they need to get a rhythm going before they start trying to do all these passes. Let the offensive line get in the game good before you start trying to drop them back. Because most offensive line want to tell you they want to go and hit somebody before they got to drop back in pass coverage. They don't want to
And
do that all night.
trust and believe, most linemen will tell you they love running the ball more than they do pass blockers.
Right,
So,
because they get to hit somebody. So
yep.
yeah, but we appreciate it all again. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Keep it up. We appreciate all. We welcome all people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Unless they get too disrespectful, then we got to let you go. But other than that, man, AJ, hope you have a great week. We'll talk offline, but I don't know. We'll
Absolutely.
see. Y'all may see us this week on Coach T's show. He's been busy
Mm-hmm.
with coaching for real, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it, but we'll figure it out. And then I'm sure we gonna do the well. I probably won't do it, but I'm sure they're gonna do a pregame show because I got other responsibilities like church. But yeah, tune in, man. We appreciate y'all. Love you too,
I might not
CB,
even do
man.
it this week because apparently my family's coming over. So we'll see.
Oh, that's right. Y'all going to Coast? I thought you going to the game though. Never
I
mind.
am, but I also have family coming over. So
Well, yeah.
love you
So
too,
we probably
CB.
won't do it, but we'll probably if not, we probably do the post game show like we did last night.
That was
So
fun.
we're gonna try to keep y'all. We're gonna try to keep it up, man. It's just we try to work around everybody's schedule. So if we're not as consistent as you would like, we apologize. But hey, everybody's got real stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
we're not getting paid off this. So this is on our time. But yeah, appreciate y'all again. Love y'all. We'll see y'all next week, man.
Peace.